Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're diving straight down into Rivers State, the crisis rocking Rivers State. Some are saying peace is gradually returning back to Rivers State. Others have divergent views and, of course, an opinion saying that it might just be this kind of an agreement that might just be making the governor not being the governor. You know what I mean? Doesn't really cause the first issue. I cannot be a governor without being the governor. But now, do you feel that he's ready to accept being the governor without being the governor? Or he's the governor and he's still the governor? Yes, like I'm speaking in parables right now. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a legal practitioner, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Greg Odaze. Hope I got that name correct.
Yeah, that's
Welcome.
very well. Good morning, my viewers.
All right.
Wishing thank you for having me in your program.
All right. Now we're expecting Samuel Higiato and, of course, Honorable Paul Ogido. When they come, definitely we will have other opinion from here emanating from the studio. But joining us virtually all the way in the U.S., join me to welcome Honorable Ehi Igariba. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Wilson. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, so as it stands right now, peace seems to have returned to Rivers because of the peace that was brokered between Sim Fubara and Ian Wike, the godson, of course, the godfather by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Nigerians have been reacting to this. So let me start off with the legal practitioner in the studio. I mean, it's like peace beginning to return gradually. Now, what do you feel about the process?
Well, first and foremost, I wish to commend our president for initiating that meeting to restore peace and tranquility in Rivers State. I wish to commend him for his wisdom and political sagacity he employed to ensure that there is peace in Rivers State. Peace is what we all pray for. For quite some time, we all know what is going on in Rivers State. So I am very happy that peace is gradually returning following the settlement that took place in Abuja, that the parties should sheathe their sword in the interest of the people and the state and development. There cannot be development in the atmosphere of chaos and violence. So I am not against the settlement. I am not against it. I'm very happy. I'm overwhelmed that the parties have decided to let go their differences. That is my view.
So saying the party, they've decided to let go of their differences. Well, we'll dive more into that. If really they decided to let go of their differences. Let me move straight down to the U.S. where Honorable Higariba is standing by. Join us virtually. So, Honorable, what do you feel about this?
The situation currently emanating from the crisis that had engulfed Rivers State, which Mr. President nipped in the bud without letting it escalate, especially after the Supreme Court judgment had laid bare that there was no government in Rivers State in the eyes of the law, because the anticipation of the Constitution, which is the grand norm of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is that in a democratic government as have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, and none of them is at the mercy of the other one. They are co-equals. And statements that we heard from Governor Fubara, to the extent that the House of Assembly members are only existing because he chose to recognize them, are undemocratic and unacceptable in a democracy, because as he is an elected representative of the people, so are the members of the House of Assembly. I guess that occasioned the president swinging into action and nipping in the bud by declaring a state of emergency. However, politics is defined as a circle of conflict and constant conflict resolution. You know, there's been a period of conflicts, and now, after trading horses and lances being lands, they've come back again to resolve the conflict and agree to peacefully coexist as one political family. Furthermore, what is very instructive about this is it is critical for us to re-examine our party politics in Nigeria vis-a-vis the absence of the leadership of certain political parties during critical times for their members. What do I mean by this? As of today, Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, and Sim Fubara, the governor, though suspended, of Rivers State, are both members of the People's Democratic Party. It is amazing to note that it is an APC president who have now brought peace to the rank of PDP members. I just thought I should include that critical information. Thank you.
All right, I will come back to you, Honorable Ehi. Well, you heard him.
Yes.
You heard him. He said it's an APC president that really broke out peace between PDP members, because they said that PDP members, they couldn't broke up peace between Wike and, of course, Fubara. But some are saying that these agreements might just hoodwink Simi Fubara. Remember, when these all issues started, they went to meet Mr. President. He gave them a condition in Abuja. When they returned, Sim said, look, these conditions, he cannot abide by them, because if he should abide by the conditions, that means he will be a governor without being the governor, which inevitably means that he can be a governor without having the full powers of a particular governor or the governor of Rivers State. Now, do you feel that this condition given to him is the same thing as the previous one? Because nobody is saying anything right now about the conditions.
Wilson, before I will dive into your question, your direct question to me, I will want to lend my voice on what Honorable Hay said as to the issue of president, is not the one that weighed into the matter. It should be, because the president is not just only an APC president. It's not for APC, it's the president of the country. If there's no peace in Rivers State, the president will not also be happy. He's saying that only a madman will go and sleep when his roof is on fire. It will be applicable. So for president to have decided to take to handle the bull, to take the bull by the horn, is a commendable one. And that shows a sense of wealth of experience from our president. So I don't agree on the aspect he's trying to narrow that, meaning that the PDP within themselves, maybe because of they are having issues. That is, no. You know, in settlement, a third party from nowhere can wade into a problem, can cut the both parties when you have the capability. As in the instance case, the president has everything to, to cut the both parties. So I would not, I would not concur to him.
No, but still, it's a PDP matter.
No.
And it took an APC president to broker peace.
See, like I told you, in settlement, issue of settlement, it doesn't matter. Regardless of your political coloration or your religious affiliation, because peace is very important. Peace. You know, where there is no peace, where there is violence, where there is bound to be what? A kind of destruction, massacre. So in order to avoid all this in Rivers, you know that the Rivers State, as it were, is very cardinal to this country. The oil, looking at the resources that is there. So for president to have come in, we shouldn't be looking at party-wise. We shouldn't have viewing it on the basis of party. So that is my own reaction.
Okay.
So remind me of your question.
The conditions now, do you feel it's the same as before or something changed?
Yes, because
nobody is saying anything about the condition, but they just accepted it.
Yes, now that you see the suspended governor, Fubara, has learned his bitter lesson. So, he regretted why he even allowed this matter to go to this extent. So, in that, he has decided to waive his rights. That is settlement. In settlement, you don't talk, this is my right. I will do this, I will do that. Parties are expected to compromise. I don't know. When you say compromise, you are no longer insisting on your rights. For the sake of, let there be development, let there be peace in my state. So I believe what happened in the past will not happen again. He will rule the state peacefully. And there is not going to be chaos any longer as a renege of the agreement, the conditions. That is the reason why he said, that's what he called sacrifice.
Okay.
So,
all right, I'll come back to you, Barrister Odaza. Now let's move straight down to U.S. Honorable Ariva is standing by. Well, Honorable, you heard what he said. He said we shouldn't narrow it down to an APC government brokering peace between PDP members. After all, he is Mr. President, the president of the country. Now, that is on one hand. They're going to react to that. On the other hand, Fubara told his supporters that huge sacrifices must be made, that the supporters should just accept this in good faith. Now, putting these two together, what do you feel?
Well, my friend, the attorney at law, gave a different interpretation to what I was saying. We are in a multi-party democracy, and the job of each political party is to pursue their own agenda and criticize the ruling party. It is not a norm it is not normal also in a democracy to have members of other political parties, whether they are president or governor, wading into internal crisis of another party. That is why all political parties are expected to have internal conflict resolution mechanism that they deploy where there are crisis situations, as it hitherto was in Rivers State. Unfortunately, we did not see that. What did we see? It was the PDP Governors Forum taking Mr. President to court to show their displeasure. They were going to the court to show their displeasure with the action of Mr. President to nip the crisis in the bud. Furthermore, we had the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, who came to Rivers State to be a part of the inauguration of the now removed local government chairman who won election on the platform of, I believe, SDP or another political party, which shows chaos in PDP. You cannot, as the leader of your governors forum in PDP, be attending the inauguration of the victory of another political party entirely. So with Mr. President wading in shows his political sagacity, maturity, and experience, but it is a gross indictment on the PDP. It shows at the moment they lack leadership. And they've shown clearly to Nigerians that their internal conflict resolution mechanism is at the moment, maybe even, unavailable perhaps, or they simply do not have the leadership that have the political guts to attempt to resolve the issue that was bedeviling Rivers State. Having said that, Wilson, please, if you repeat your question again.
It's like both of you are just reacting to each other. Well, okay, fine. Now we'll not dive into, because I know you want to react to what you said. All right, let's just settle with both of you, having this banter before I come to the question. You heard him. He said because PDP lack leadership. That's the reason why APC, the administration is the one brokering peace. I mean.
See, Wilson, to some extent, I would agree that, there are bound to be disagreements among members of the parties. The issue here is this. Like when he was trying to, I believe in democracy, there is what he called tolerance of opposition. They are not enemy to each other, irrespective of party differences. Some of these person you see, they are even friends. In one way or the other, they are even related to themselves or one another. These politicians, we have Nigerians. They have where they meet. So beyond the fact that the party internal mechanism for resolution of a conflict, they couldn't resolve the matter. Now the president is weighing in and the president did the needful. So you don't say that because of that. It's not sufficient. I'm not seeing it. So what he is not as a result, what he's trying to make, is trying to make us to believe that it's as a result of the failure of PDP.
But if you can't settle quarrels in your party, it's not a mark of failure in a way.
Again, sir, it's really beyond that, because the political actors that were involved in Rivers State. They were big political wings. Wike, the FCT minister.
Wike,
it's a
PDP.
Political, yeah, it's a political grandeur.
Fubara, PDP.
Yes.
But it took an APC president to settle the case. What happened to the PDP? Because that's what Honorable is like, talking about right now.
He's beyond that. That is, it could be. It could be. That is the reason why I was saying that the president has what it takes beyond the party line.
All right. I will come back to you. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the Rivers State crisis, the aftermath of reconciliation between Wike and his godson, the governor, those suspended of Rivers State, Sim Fubara. We'll go for a break. When we return, we are going to continue with the discussion. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at what is really happening in what we're talking about right now in Rivers State, reconciliation between Sim Fubara and, of course, Sam Wike. That is what we are talking about on this particular platform. Well, Honorable Yegereva brought out something very, very germane to this discussion, talking about an APC president resolving issues that is going on between PDP members. And of course, Barrister Greg Odaze said, look, that is not the issue. We'll talk about peace. Anybody can broker peace. But I want to say, look, if that's the situation, that means PDP lack leadership. Well, Odaze said, no, that isn't correct. Because when you take a look at the situation right now, no matter the party that you belong, you can broker peace if you have the means or the power. Now, right now, let's move over to where Honorable Igareva is standing by in the U.S. Honorable since it took an APC administration to broker peace between two warring PDP members, a father and a son, so to speak, political godfather and political godson, does this now give fuel to the rumor making the rounds that maybe, just maybe, Sim is in the PDP, but not of the PDP? Take it up from there.
There is a certain man who comes almost every 4 years to contest for the presidency of Nigeria. And the last two times he used the PDP platform. You would have expected that man, as important as Rivers State is, to the economic and political situation in Nigeria, haven't had such a huge political office as that of a vice president. And don't forget, the PDP have two former presidents and two former vice presidents. So they have what it takes to resolve this issue. They have two former Senate presidents, or more than five former Senate presidents. One of them at the moment is trying to resolve issues for them around the country. Is the chairman of their Peace and Reconciliation Committee. Hello?
Just continue with the point you're making. We are here. We are listening to your point.
Oh, yes. So all of these former presidents, former vice presidents, former Senate presidents, none of them could visit these two individuals to attempt to wade into the issue. It is not even allowed in a multi-party democracy for you to allow the opposition to broker peace. The implication is simple. The governor of Rivers State will no longer feel protected in the PDP. He will feel that if the PDP has thrown him under the bus, because in his hour of need, his party did not rally around him, none of the former presidents, vice presidents, senate presidents were able to meet with him on this issue or to find a solution for him. And so you prefer a vehicle, you prefer a fatherly figure like the president of Nigeria to give him cover and give him political direction than people who have shown their inadequacies in the face of travail.
All right.
So it will be a welcome development, and when uh, Governor Fubara finally joins us in the APC, and
We
we
are
welcome him very gladly.
I know that is going to be your next line of thoughts. Anyway, I'll come back to you, Honorable Ehi. But let's take a look at these conditions as published by the Punch newspaper. Fubara said there is nothing too much to sacrifice for peace. He said the conditions given to him may be painful for many, especially for his supporters and loyalists. Now, these are the conditions. Barrister, you have to listen to this. 1, no second term in office. That door has been closed. 2, must defect to the ruling party APC. 3, conduct local government elections without picking his candidates. And of course, 4, must pay in full allowances for the 27 pro-Wike state legislators. Come on. Come on. These 4 conditions, according to the Punch newspaper. Though he has to come out openly to say these are the conditions, but from what we are getting rather from the Punch newspaper, these are the conditions.
Yes. Although politically.
Is it not suicide? If you should agree to this.
Politically, he still have his own life to live. So this is the way you are looking at it. So politically, yes. The terms are warriors. Yeah. We know that the terms are very, very, so to say, not a kind of an infringement on his rights. Because ordinarily, he has the right to contest, given to him by the Constitution as a citizen of this country. Now he has, by one way or the other, an agreement. But beyond politics.
We are talking politics now, not beyond these conditions. That means it's worse of when we talk about the first condition.
Something brought Fubara to this stage. As we speak, is on suspension as a governor of that state. A whole lot of things have transpired. So, he's beyond politics.
So he must
the issue
abide.
he's facing, he's beyond politics.
Okay, if it's been Fubara right now, don't put in Fubara's position. Would you accept? Because it's like being the governor without being the governor.
It's the same thing we are saying.
Yes.
He doesn't have option. I mentioned that he's currently on suspension. And you are aware of the circumstances that led to that. And you are aware of the unrest, restiveness in Rivers State as a result of these differences between the godfather and the godson. So, he doesn't have option. That was, even we were also here to discuss the judgment of the Supreme Court, how it affected him.
Yes.
And then I also mentioned, I don't know how he's going to, because there's already issues for this time. If he were impeached by this time, what would also be his fate? Okay. Before this time, he has been impeached. He's no longer the governor of Rivers State. Would he continue his life? It's not a do or die affair. So, he has said that it's a sacrifice. And I've also told you that...
Sacrifice for who? For himself or for the people?
Anyhow you look at it. But for me, I know it's for himself. It's self-interest. Politics is self-interest. So I have also said that in politics, it's all about compromise. You no longer insist on your right, my constitutional right, my whatever right. It's not no longer the case. So he has decided to what? That is the reason.
All right.
Yes, for peace.
For peace.
That is the word, for peace.
Okay.
Peace is very, peace of mind.
Okay,
yes.
I'll come back to you,
Yes.
Barrister. Well, let me get straight down to you as well, Honorable Yegariba is standing by. 4 conditions given to Wike Fubara. 1, no second term in office. 2, must defect the ruling party, APC. 3, conduct local government elections without picking its candidate. 4, in fact, it's just like the 4th one is going to pay all the allowances to the 27 pro-Wike state legislators. 4 conditions. Come on, is this not witchcraft in politics?
Well, I don't believe it's witchcraft. One thing I know in politics is I haven't been in an executive position. You have to make a decision between politics and development. You can strike a balance, but if you are acting in the interest of the people, politics must get behind you while you face development. But if you choose to place politics in front of you and development behind of you, you're always going to run into issues like this. It's a matter of Nigerians recognizing that at the moment, Godfatherism, as they say in Nigeria, but in my opinion, it is mentorship. It's an inseparable part of Nigerian politics for now. The reason is, if Fubara is talking about he's making sacrifices, he's talking about my people, who are really his people? And is he talking about his job people? Is he talking about his nascent political family that was created barely a year ago because he was under 2 years as governor when he was suspended? Either to that, he was a civil servant, so he did not have a political family, I want to assume. Okay, who are his people? People like Uche Jumbo, people like Uche Secondus, former Governor Peter Odili, Asari Dokubo. Well, he allowed himself to be hijacked by people who could not on their own take on the FCT minister, and they now used him as a front to attempt to pull the rug from under the feet of Wike. But unfortunately, they did not know he had a third leg with which he stood very firmly. So I believe as a governor of a state, whether you are coming in for a second tenure or not, go and develop the state and leave your name there in gold. He still got 2 full years to, things can change. The most important thing is that he should go ahead, complete all his projects, inaugurate them, make peace with the people that he had either to offended. And if he's not allowed to contest, that can only not be maybe under the PDP and APC. He may choose to also test his political popularity, in another platform. I don't think anybody can seize his constitutional rights from contesting at all. He may be barred from using certain platforms, but he reserves the right to use any other platform to test his popularity now without the support of the political family that brought him, so that he can know what it is. The Benin will say, when you put a child on your back to walk through the river, they may not know how deep that river is. So since he believes, or if he believes he's not politically strong enough to weather the storm, he can go to another political party and contest on his own and see how he's done.
All right. I will come back to you, Honorable Yegariba. Now, some Nigerians have this notion that, whether I want to believe it or not, Fubara lost this battle. And that is like an endorsement to Godfatherism. And this is what Nigerian is speaking against. Does this mean that Godfatherism has come to stay in Nigerian politics? Barrister.
Yes. I've heard people saying it too, that, oh, no victor, no vanquish.
But in this case, there's a victor, there's a vanquished.
So for me, I was not comfortable in this case, like you said, that there was a loser. You know, at the end of the day, at the end of the race, Fubara surrendered, because when the battle started, people were hailing him, clapping for him, and all of that. But look at the result. So it's not good for anybody to bite the figure that fed you.
Are you not endorsing Godfatherism in politics?
No, it's not. It's the way you are painting it.
I'm not painting it. I'm asking a question. Are you endorsing Godfatherism in politics?
Is the phrase or the word when you say a mentor? That is what you are.
Barrister.
In
this particular, let's call a spade a spade. Are you endorsing Godfatherism? Remember, in Edo State, once upon a time, a certain governor then said, "Say no to Godfatherism." But with this one that happened in Rivers State, are you endorsing it?
You are not. That's why let me discuss the issue.
Go ahead.
Yes. You see, you just say Godfatherism. In any institution, there is bound to be people on ground, the leaders there. It's the one you just calling the Godfatherism. That is what I'm afraid.
But Wike is the godfather. Fubara is the godson. So Godfatherism is back.
He's a leader.
Okay, you know what? Just hold on. Let me throw that same question.
So let
Honorable AE, because right now it's like you.
See, so long that there is no independent, there is no room for independent candidates.
Yes.
In Nigeria, the constitution does not recognize independent candidates, and you will register, or you will be a member of a political party before you can contest an election. And there are people there before you. They are the one that will sponsor you. They are the one that will lead you. So when you say, so to say they are Godfather, but not in the negative form. Not in the negative form, because I know the area you are going to. Because Godfather is already there to assist you. In order for you to what? To achieve your what? Your goal, your political goal. They are already there.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Honorable Gariba, over now to you. The aspect of Godfatherism, because some people say whether you want to believe it or not, there is a winner and of course a loser in this battle. And with the four conditions given to Sim Fubara, he seems to be the loser in this battle. And here comes the fear, the effect or the impact of Godfatherism. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't call it Godfatherism because I'm a beneficiary of political mentorship. And a lot of people come into politics very inexperienced. And they are given very gigantic positions and responsibilities, which involves a lot of critical thinking. And sometimes they lack the requisite experience. They may have the knowledge, but they lack the requisite experience to discharge these responsibilities. You see what happened in Lagos State. Let me use that as a case study. When Speaker Obasa was removed by the House of Assembly, the president of the country swung into action, resolved it amicably, and there was some horse trading, and he found himself back on that seat. And in the process, it will appear that some feathers were ruffled, and Governor Sanwo-Olu was not on the best of terms with the president of the country. What followed was very, very, for me, thought-provoking, that there is a group in Lagos called the GAC. And they went to meet the president at home, even though he's the president of the country, he subjected himself to the GAC, which is the political leadership of the APC political caucus in Lagos, the elders of the party, and they resolved the issue between the governor and the president. They nipped it right in the bud, and the president came out and said all is well. It did not matter how he felt, he subjected himself to that group. In those states, during the time of Chief Tony Aneni, we had a semblance of that, which was called the state caucus of the then PDP. It was the highest decision-making and reaching body at the time. And Chief Aneni will call the state caucus meeting, will involve governors, former governors, senators, just the top echelon of the party. And all critical decisions, like whether local government elections will be commissioner, who's going to be this position, they did all of the discussions late into the night, resolved them amicably, said their closing prayers with laughter and smiles, and came out and the decisions were implemented. And when I was at EGO, I had that benefit of having a caucus like that, which included 2 former local government chairmen of EGO. And I benefited immensely from their wealth of experience and direction, because they've been there before. I will use another Bini, they said, the people in front will know how deep the water is. And so they will tell you how to navigate, so that you can be as efficient as possible and as quickly as possible you can deliver on your promises that you've made to the people. Instead of learning on the job, you have the benefit of their wisdom to run instead of walking. So that is mentorship. But when you have people who have ulterior political motives, they always come to you to drive fear into you, to let you know that you must assert yourself. Oh, you are not the governor, you are not the chairman, you are not the this. Don't let anybody dictate to you. But again, no man is an island. Nobody has monopoly of wisdom. So you can take advices from people. You can allow yourself to be mentored, but you can sift through those advice and take the one you wish to use. And of course, nobody's going to make them legally binding on you. They just offer them to you. And you take the one you feel you can use, and the ones you feel you are not comfortable with, you let them be. But I haven't benefited from political mentorship. I believe that since our democracy is still in its nascent age, is less than 50 years in practice, most political office holders still need mentorship. And that is what we tag Godfatherism in Nigeria.
But it is Godfatherism. Honorable, is Godfatherism. Isn't it Godfatherism?
And
if you take a look at this video right now,
the Catholic Church,
Saint Fubara seems defeated. The way he was just looking for conditions.
Well, I'm a behavioral specialist, and I see he looked that way in the sense that, yes, he lost. And why did he lose? Because of political inexperience. Because if you do not have the House of Assembly, you are not going to start a political fight and hope to win.
Wow.
And if you went the path of having 3 members in the House of Assembly, I mean, come on. All over the world where democracy is practiced, that is an unacceptable situation. I was even more taken aback that some legal minds, very senior legal minds, attempted to push that narrative into the psyche of the Nigerian people that it was legal for 3 members to represent 32 constituencies.
All right, Honorable, thank you.
To the exclusion of 28 constituencies.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're about to commence our descent on this particular segment. Someone saying whether you want to believe it or not, it's like saying, Hail Godfatherism. You're back in full swing in Nigerian politics. This is a classical example. That's what many people are saying. Politics are saying it, that the Godfather won the Godson because he has is it Godfather backing? That's what they are saying right now in the street. So tell me now, Do you see Bas leaving the position within the next few weeks, few days, few months, so that Fubara can come in and finish his tenure? Before I call it a wrap on this discussion.
Please put the...
Bas, talking about they have a sole administrator right now.
Yes.
Is he going to hand over immediately? Or because he has already running on a budget already, approved by the National Assembly? How do you feel this will pan out?
Yes, the state of emergency will be lifted. Now that the issues that led to it have been resolved. I wouldn't know the time because I was not part of the meeting. But I know it's going to be one of the issues that were also canvassed in that meeting. So in no time, we'll also see me, we'll go and resume his seat. So that I will not, I'm not privy to the time. I'm not privy to it because I was not there.
All
so
right.
we see, that is it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Honorable Yegariba, as your last line, so to speak, on this discussion, as it seems right now, two governors in Nigeria have suffered this kind of fate. Yes, the one in Lagos State, and now Rivers State. Because of this issue, the fought against our Godfather didn't see beyond the first tenure. They didn't see beyond the first tenure. So you gave the example. I mean, what advice do you have for prospective Nigerians that are having this zeal, this dream to at least finish a second term if they're given the opportunity of being the governor of the state, as your parting words?
You see, the governor of Abia State is not likely to have any issues of political mentorship or Godfatherism. He ran on his popularity on the platform of the Labour Party. But if you are going to run under a major political party, you will expect that there are already well-grounded leaders in that political party. And if you do a merge, you have to do what is needful to ensure that you carry everyone along, maintain your humility, and you look at what's going on in Edo State now. We have a lot of very big political leaders in the APC, but the governor has been able to strike the balance and somehow carry everybody along. That's political smartness, you know. You've got to be smart and make sure that somehow you balance the scale and you just move peacefully without any rancor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Yegariba. Well, Barrister, your party in line on this discussion, because people are like, some are very, very sad about it. Women came out, they were crying, leave Simi alone, leave Simi alone. Some others were saying, fight on, you are the governor, but right now, this is the end of it.
Yes, the advice I have for the politicians in Nigeria, young politicians, a fight you know that you cannot finish, don't turn back on it. And that is one. And again, the followers, the supporters of one leader or the other, you have seen it all. It's not a do or die affair. Some persons were backing the Fubara. I will do this, I will do that. Now they have resolved their issues. So, in other words, politics is not a do or die affair.
Yeah. All right.
That is my advice for them.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. You've seen the end of the battle, but is it really an end of the battle? This is Fubara standing by these four conditions. People are saying that it's worse than the first condition given to him. We are watching. Let's see how these will pan out. But peace, they say, is paramount. We'll be right back to take a look at what is happening in our riverine communities, because Governor, Monday Okpewolo is doing wonderfully well according to reports in Edo State. Construction, infrastructure, you just name it. What about the riverine area? Are they mapped out for development, or are they just out there looking orders or looking at orders and enjoying the dividends of democracy? What about the riverine communities in Edo State? We'll be right back. Don't go away.